Would you wait 6 hours in line for a purple popcorn bucket? Or would you live in a house in a desert just because Disney runs it? Maybe we would. Find out more on today's Annual Pass. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Annual Pass. This is the podcast where we talk about all things theme park-related rides, shows, attractions, you name it, we talk about it here, including churros. I'm your host, Jack Pattillo, and of course, joining me, as always, is the beautiful, lovely, and talented co-host of mine, Geoff Ramsey. Hi, Jeffrey.
Hi, Jack. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right, Jeff. I'm excited because today we are returning to Epcot.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize we'd left.
Did I catch you off guard with that?
Yeah, I didn't realize we'd gone and then left.
No, we're going to Epcot. We're going to a classic Epcot attraction, one that's been reworked a couple times. We're talking about Journey into Imagination with Figment, which is the newest version of it. But we'll get into that a little bit. Real quick, thank you, everyone, for watching Annual Pass. You guys are the absolute best. We love you very much. Don't forget, youtube.com/Annual Pass if you want to watch the video version of the show, which we just crossed 1,000 subscribers, Jeff.
Oh, yeah. Congratulations, Jack. We're coming up in the world.
We're making it.
I will say, if you're listening to this podcast, probably sounds fine. Sounds normal.
Yeah.
If you're looking at this podcast, I'm sorry. I just got back from the orthodontist. Orthodontist. I wish. I just got back from the endodontist, and I got my 347th root canal in the last year, and so I look worse than I sound.
Yeah. You look like it's been a long day for you. What time did you go to the dentist this morning?
I was in a chair at 7:30.
Oh,
yeah.
And I was woken up this morning by someone working on my solar panels at about 7:30.
Yeah. So I got up at 6. I had to make breakfast for the kid and make her lunch and get all that ready, and then out the door. On the bright side,
just get the grill, get the full grill. That'll be easier. Just do the the full thing. You the Paul Wall, Mike Jones kind of situation going on here.
Paul Wall does live in Houston, right? It's
That's
a short
true.
drive down there to get my grill. I will say on the bright side, there are only so many teeth. So.
Well, as of right now, I mean, it sounds like they're slowly going down.
Jeez Louise.
Oh, man. Well, hey, also, real quick before we dive into it today, I don't know if you've been paying attention to Twitter or anything, Jeff, but did you see?
No, I haven't.
Did you see what Disney announced yesterday? So on the 16th of February, 2022, did you see what Disney announced?
They announced a new theme park called Disney Universe.
No, they didn't. They announced they are partnering with a construction company, and they are building something. What is it? Story? What is it? What's the term for it? Storyville?
Universe.
Story
Disney
Living?
Universe.
Story Living. Thank you, Ben. Yeah, Story Living. So Disney is building or partnering with a community builder, and they're building a neighborhood.
Oh,
that is basically the worst HOA on the planet.
It's like Margaritaville.
Yeah,
it's like one of those Jimmy Buffett retirement villages kind of thing.
And so the whole idea is you can live in Disney themed, Disney owned. No one's really sure exactly what it is, but it's Disney something community.
Isn't that essentially the villages in Florida? Isn't that already there?
Well, that's a retirement thing. But no,
so this isn't just for old people.
No,
young people can live here.
From what I
No.
understand, yes, yeah.
This is so the website just says Story Living by Disney, new home communities where your next chapter flourishes. Imagine your life set in a place where world-famous Disney service is at the heart of it all. It's time to write the best chapter in the story of your life. Bring everything you've come to love and set the stage for even more. Be a part of a vibrant, inspiring community catering to the unique desires of those who have learned what's really important. Welcome to a place where you can live your life to the fullest and truly take pride in every new chapter to come.
Man, so for people now complain about the price of fast passes.
Yeah.
Imagine when they have to pay their property taxes.
Yeah, I got an email, Story Living by Disney, the next chapter in the story of your life. And it's a bunch of people toasting. And someone, I think Disney Dan or someone pointed out all the promos had a lot of succulents in them. It's just like succulents and
very
photos.
deserty, yeah.
Well, they're building it in the desert in what's
Palm Springs.
Palm Springs, yeah. So it's
Really?
out in California. It's
So it's not even close to a theme park.
no, not at all. It's somewhere in California. But yeah, it's going to be a Disney community.
Do you know?
And then if this goes well, they'll open more, I'm sure.
You know those big those big neighborhoods. We have them in Texas too, like in the suburbs where you have like a neighborhood pool and then it has like a slide, which is like, why didn't those exist in the 80s when we were kids? Like a neighborhood water slide.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. I would love to see what Disney's version of that is because it's under scrutiny.
Well, it says life inspired by world famous Disney placemaking. Weird. This is from the website storylivingByDisney.com. The Disney touch is at the heart of it all.
Get the dog off the table.
The dog's a part of the family, Jeff.
Doesn't need to eat people food. It'll make it sick.
These communities are envisioned as enriching enclaves conceived with the simple notion of bringing people together. Managed by Disney cast members who deliver world-class service and, of course, fun. No one else could bring to life such vibrant mix of experiences and activities that will inspire new passions. Welcome to a place featuring world-renowned service that puts you at the center of everything.
And it looks like they have eggs. Is that what picture of eggs down there?
I think that's a giant orange and some limes and lemons.
Oh, okay. It's at an angle.
There is an asterisk down here. Programming will require payment of dues and or fees to be subject to additional terms and conditions. So it's like you can live here, but you got to pay more to have the Disney side of things.
If you want the Disney experience in the middle of the desert, far, far away from any Disney attraction, you got it.
There you go. We got it for you.
So have you put in your application yet?
Absolutely. I asked Ben to go ahead and get the annual pass house going right now. It's like you remember when streamers, that was the big thing, like streamer houses? We're going to do that. We're going to have the annual pass house.
Have our own Netflix show.
It's going to be the three of us hanging out somewhere in the desert. It'll be a lot of fun. So anyway, that's Story Living. I have no idea what to think of that. Disney did have a community that's actually, they built out. There was like a Disney-owned community already out in Orlando that why can I not think of it? Celebration is the name of it.
Okay.
Celebration. There's a whole like little village out there.
Still there.
It's still there.
Still owned by Disney?
No, Disney backed out eventually, and yeah, it was. Now it's like a very kind of like rich little spot within. It's just off Disney property. It's off of like 192, and they have like shops and stuff there. It's a cool place to go, but I don't know what made Disney bail out of it. Apparently, a lot of Imagineers live there, and
probably not enough succulents.
I guess not. I don't know how succulents do in Florida weather. It's a lot more moist out there. So, So if you're planning on joining the Storyville, feel free to let us know in the comments. And if you think that's a good idea, I would love to hear from you.
I would love to hear why that's a good idea. Like if you know more about it than we do. Sell us on it.
I got to imagine it's just some developer went to Disney and said, hey, we'll give you X amount of millions to use the Disney name on top of what we're doing.
Yeah,
a lot of people comparing it's like the Bluth Company, where it's like we're going to build a neighborhood out in the middle of the desert and just throw a cool name on it.
I feel like Disney is not the company to do a high price logo slap though.
Yeah,
they seem to have more integrity to their experience.
You would think so, but Disney as of late has been all about that cash. So Bob Chapek, the new CEO, has been very, very cash driven.
Well, I'm holding out for the Cedar Point community. That's where I'm going to live.
Universal, man. Universal's loving us. As a matter of fact, Disney yesterday raised the prices for tickets. Again,
how much now?
I don't know what the bump is, but they raised the price on pretty much every single ticket. Still can't buy annual passes, by the way.
Wouldn't this be the podcast where you would come to find those answers?
Yeah, you would think so. I just saw that they updated. A lot of people very upset by it. Let's see how much.
I understand. You were distracted by
up?
Disney eggs and the dog trying to eat people food.
Well, Disney just had their shareholders meeting, and they were basically saying like this last quarter was the best quarter ever.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. I did read that,
including for the theme parks. It was like the best quarter ever for the theme parks, and they're still raising prices. They're still. I mean, it's just like I guess it's so packed that they're like, well, we'll just make people pay more money until they say no, and then stop raising prices.
So that's sucky. Right? I'm trying to be. This is a positive podcast, and we talk about our love of these things. But that's not sucky. I think a real sucky thing, but also they're not the only ones that are doing it. Everybody is. McDonald's is doing it. Tons of places are doing it. They're recording record profits and raising their cost and not paying their talent any more money.
Yeah. So Ben, do you have the answer of how much costs went up yesterday?
Yeah, so this is from wdwmagic.com. Price increases for Walt Disney World multi-day theme park tickets, February 2022. It looks like 1 to 3 day tickets remain unchanged. But let's see here. The cheapest 5-day base ticket is now $484, an increase of over $20 from $463. The 10-day ticket sees the largest price increase from $553 to $582.
Wow. Okay.
Man, you're gonna take your family to Disney for a week. You got to sell your car to do it.
Well, I mean that's the thing too. Like a single day ticket to get to Disney, like with a park hopper option, is like $140 or $150.
Yeah.
So once you do those multi-days, that's when it starts going down. Also, if you can do a thing where like you pick one specific park, you don't hop, then that's going to be a lot cheaper too.
What do you think the chances are that when you buy your $850,000 Disney home in the desert of Palm Springs so that you can party next to, oh gosh, I don't know, the Kardashians have a house out there, right?
Probably.
Yeah, I think
is it Bonnaroo that's out there? I think like.
Bonner, I don't know.
There's some concert out there that people go to.
Oh yeah, well I know Palm Springs is where rich Californians go to find themselves for a weekend.
Yeah, or
easily.
I think Bonnaroo might be California, or it might be Tennessee. But
maybe it's the other one.
Yeah, it's Tennessee is for Bonnaroo.
What's the other one?
Lollapalooza's in Chicago.
No, not all. Yeah, but it's the big Coachella.
Coachella. That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah. So
yeah, I can't say that I've ever been to Coachella. Anyway, what do you think the chances are when you buy your exceptionally overpriced Disney community home? I'm going out on a limb there and guessing that it's expensive. That you get any kind of discount to a Disney park with it?
Probably very slim.
Yeah, not like hey, you just paid $1 million to live in the Disney community. Here's a 1 weekend a year free at Disneyland. No, okay.
No, not even a weekend. It'd be like here's a Tuesday and a Wednesday ticket. You know,
blackouts pending.
Yeah, it's good. It's good in February and in October. That's about it.
How do you feel about the first week of December?
Yeah, it's I'm curious about this to see how well it does, because Disney has been doing this premium like event type stuff, especially like the Galactic Star Cruiser now, $6,000 for a couple to stay there for 2 nights.
That's the experiential one, right?
Yeah,
where you go to the ice to get ice, and then suddenly you're on a mission.
Exactly.
With a smuggler.
Yeah, Chewbacca grabs you.
You're trying to smuggle the Diet Coke back to your room.
Yeah. And so like I'm curious if stuff like this really premium stuff, if it's gonna hit or if it's gonna be something where they overshoot. Because I've got a feeling the Galactic Star Cruiser, it's after 6 months, no one's gonna be clamoring to get there. Like they're gonna either drop rates or change the experience significantly.
I just realized I'm on codeine. I might sound a little dumb, so I apologize.
It's because you went to the orthodontist, or the endodontist.
It's the my mouth is all numb, so I feel like I got fat mouth.
Yeah,
and then I just realized I'm on some pain meds too. So
that's okay.
Hopefully I'm coherent.
you sound fine so far, but all right, enough of the sort of catching up. Don't forget too, we have merchandise in the store. We have store.roosterteeth.com. I've got a shirt on. Jeff's got one of our old school annual pass shirts on. New in the store, we have our pin set, our starter pin set, which is fantastic. Grab that. It's got little pins of Jeffrey and myself. It's got the logo. It's got the annual pass text. We have our first pin, which is the snowball pin, the snow globe pin, which I really, really love as well. Now you have something to put it on. You have a lanyard to put it on. So grab those in the store, store.roosterteeth.com. It supports annual pass, and when you buy that stuff, then we can convince other people to make more stuff for us, which is great. Also, we've got a Discord as well, which the Discord is popping off. Jeff,
if you buy these pins, eventually we will sell you a home.
Well, the annual pass community somewhere near Lake Tahoe. It'll be great. Jeff, I still got to get you in the Discord. People, we have a like art and memes channel inside of our Discord, and along with our new shirts we put out, that we did some green screen shots of me.
I saw those.
And the art group inside of the Discord has been just like putting me everywhere. It's been hilarious. So it's a lot of fun. Also, the Runners Club in there has been great. We still need to come up with a proper name for the Runners Club, but everyone's being super supportive. So I'm excited for it. You still gonna join me for the 5K next year, or a 10K, or a half marathon or something?
Well, let's see how it goes with my mouth.
Your teeth,
in theory, yes.
They might shake out. Speaking of which, next weekend, I'm less than a week and a half away from running a half marathon. I was so focused on the marathon. Now that I've done that, I'm like, I'm just gonna knock out a half next Sunday. No,
it's an old hat to you now.
Yeah, so I'm going out to Orlando next Friday, and then running on Sunday, and then coming back on Monday. So it'll be lots of fun. I'll let you know how it goes. I'm going to hit up Universal, and I think one of the Disney parks while I'm there. So we'll talk about that in a couple weeks. But now, Jeff, let's get into today's episode. We are talking about Journey into Imagination with Figments. This is at Epcot, and it's been there since, Journey into Imagination was an opening day attraction.
Okay.
Do you know anything about this attraction? Did you? Oh, as a matter of fact, I know you've at least been in front of it by the description of where you were back in 1983 or 2.
I probably went on the original ride.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll ring a bell when you.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, the original ride is gone.
Right.
And in the original ride, there was a character named Figment.
Right.
Which was created by the Dreamfinder.
We've talked about him before.
Yeah. And so the Dreamfinder, he creates Figment, which is this little purple dragon dude. And then ultimately that was a ride sponsored by Kodak, and there's some fantastic documentaries online about sort of what happened with the original ride. I absolutely recommend you check those out. But the TLDR version of it is Kodak was running low on funds in the sort of late 90s because, digital cameras were becoming a thing, and Kodak had been, a lot of film, for a long time. They weren't really on the forefront of that. And so they didn't have the money to give to Disney to kind of upkeep the ride. So they're like, well, Disney basically said, we need to do something to Epcot. We need to change up something. We're going to change this ride. We need some money. Kodak gave them a little bit of money, and with that little bit of money, they completely changed up what Journey into Imagination was, and they turned it into Journey into Your Imagination, which was not good.
Yeah, how do they know my imagination? Get out of my head.
And then from there, the response was not positive, so they reworked it after a couple of years, and now it's Journey into Imagination with Figment, which is kind of the second version of the ride with Figment sort of ramshackled into it as well.
Gotcha.
So from Disney's website, just imagine dragons. The Institute's beleaguered chairman, Dr. Nigel Channing, played by Eric Idle, sets out to prove how the five senses capture the imagination, but he's upstaged by the mischievous Figment. Prepare for surprises galore as you travel through a series of vivid, whimsical sensory labs. Learn about all five senses as Figment turns the lab upside down and causes quite a stink in the smell lab. Let your imagination run wild on this marvelous madcap musical adventure. That's the copy from Disney's website. So this is this when you walk into Epcot, you got the big ball in front of you. You walk in, it's got
the Phantasm Ball,
the Phantasm Ball, and then off to the right side, which is now I think it's Celebration, Celebration. I forget that they've changed all the names of it, but on the right side you've got Living with the Land, or you've got Living with the Land, Journey, the Living Seas, or Journey into the Sea. Oh God, I think Journey into. Or is it the Living Seas? The Living Seas, Land, and then Imagination on the right side. Imagination is the one with the big glass pyramids, and out in front of it has the waterfall that goes up instead of down, and also it has the jumping water. That's the thing that you took a photo in front of, right?
Why do you call it? Well, it's a dumb joke, but why would they water? Why? Honestly, why would you call it a waterfall if it goes up?
That's true. Would it be a water up?
I don't know. Yeah.
What, water rise?
Water up sounds lame.
Yeah,
water rise sounds better.
Sounds a little bit better, yeah. I don't know. A reverse waterfall, which I guess technically would just be a water. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments if you can think of a better name for a reverse waterfall.
I guess reverse waterfall doesn't sound too bad. Definitely not a fan of water up.
That sounds like if you're playing football and the water boys on the sides, hey, water up,
water up,
water up.
Water up.
All right. Anyway, that's also right next to where the we talked about Honey, I Shrunk the Kids attraction. The 3D movie is right over there. Now the theater that used to hold that, I think does a Pixar 3D thing, is in that theater. But also over there in that Imagination Pavilion is this attraction, which is Journey into Imagination with Figment. So it initially started as Journey to Imagination, then Journey into Your Imagination. Now Journey into Imagination with Figment.
With Figment, yeah.
We'll do an episode on the original version someday with Figment and the Dreamfinder and kind of talk about that because it was an amazing attraction. I remember riding it back in the day and sort of where everything landed from that. The original version of the attraction shuttered on October 10th, 1998 for a massive renovation. So this was around the time that Animal Kingdom was opening, Islands of Adventure was opening, and it was kind of like a resurgence and people coming back to the parks. Really, the sort of the end of the 90s was a heyday for theme parks in general, and that carried into the early 2000s. Then 9/11 happened, and then everything went dark for a while. So this was sort of like it was starting to peak, and then it kind of fell down, and now we're getting back to another peak where things are starting to get big again. So that's exciting for us. Journey into Your Imagination, which was the second version of it. So Epcot needed some new blood, and they reworked the Imagination attraction radically, removing Dreamfinder and only briefly referencing Figment and this new attraction starring Eric Idle reprising his role as Dr. Nigel Channing from the Honey, I Shrunk the Audience show. So the big thing of this was they wanted to tie everything in that pavilion together. So like, hey, we'll have Eric Idle back. He'll play Dr. Nigel Channing, who's kind of like this,
right.
the straight man and the whole thing while this chaos is happening around him. And so the idea was he was going to show you how all the senses worked. And I've watched some ride-throughs of this one. I don't know if I ever rode this specific version of it, but man, it was rough. It was very quiet, just not a lot happening. And I can imagine why people would lose their mind, and that's the thing. After it came out, people were not happy with it. Like there were a lot of complaints. People saying like, why would you take away Figment and Dreamfinder?
Right.
Again, the only reference to Figment was like there's a constellation scene where he pops up, and then you can hear Nigel talking to Figment in the darkness, but you never really saw like the purple dragon anymore. And people are like, what the hell? Like we love Figment. Why would you get rid of Figment? So Disney Imagineering was like, we got to rework this ride. And so so it opened on October 1st, 1999, which was the anniversary of Epcot opening. And then it closed October 8th, 2001. So it went exactly 2 years and 1 week.
Wow.
Which is, for a massive attraction to shut down that early is wild. Think about
Do you think Barney is based off of Figment? How many purple dinosaurs are out there?
I don't know. Well, he's a dragon technically.
Oh.
Maybe.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't know.
I conflated dragon and dinosaur in my codeine head.
and your regular head as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I would guess probably not. I mean, Figment's a very tiny creature. Barney's very big and
it's
a
regal color. So I get it. Yeah.
So once they took it down for the second time, and then they reworked it again, and it reopened on June 2nd, 2002 as Journey into Imagination with Figment. It had a very similar narrative. Like, really, they didn't change up the sort of layout of everything, but they did just rework stuff. Now there's a musical tune, which they brought back One Little Spark, which was the name of the song from the original Dreamfinder version of the ride. They brought it back and redid it again. And now Figment is everywhere. Like you can't. I don't think there's a single scene without Figment in it. So they still have the 5 sense labs. They're back again, which is it starts off saying like, oh, we're gonna go through all the senses, which is do you know the 5 senses, Jeff? Can you name them off the top of your head?
Yeah, sure, man. Touch, smell, eyes, hearing, taste.
There it is. Sight, sound, smell, touch, and taste. And the idea was Figment would put a spin on each one. There is of course he does that. And there's a really cool disappearing butterfly effect thing where like as you're moving, this butterfly like in this cage just vanishes right in front of you. It's a really, really cool effect. That was like the only thing that carried over like intact from the remake of the attraction. So like the new one, like similar stuff, but that was the one thing they're like, okay, we got that. We nailed that one prop. So that one's still in. It's in the sight section of the ride as you're moving between. At one point, Figment becomes a skunk and he sprays you with skunk smell. Kids love that. And then and once the portion of the attraction goes to the touch and taste, Dr. Nigel's like, no, we can't do that because Figment's gonna ruin everything. And then Figment, he takes over the ride, and then you go through Figment's house, which everything's upside down, which that also kind of carried over from the refurb as well. It said they made it more Figment-esque. Initially, it was literally just a house that was turned upside down, and it's like, that's interesting, and it's just real quiet and kind of spooky. And then, of course, Dr. Nigel, he's like, well, if you can't beat him, join him. And then he decides to join along. And everyone's like, hey, it's imagination. We're having a good time. And one of the most horrifying things you'll ever see at Disney, you see at the end of this attraction. It's Eric Idle made up as the moon. And it's freaking scary. It's weird as hell. It's wild. And then after you're done with the attraction, you get off to the What If Labs, which is where they have a bunch of cool games and stuff. But it's hard to explain. Jeff, would you like to just go with me on this attraction? Just take a ride with me on Journey into Imagination with Figment?
Yeah, I would like to. I'm trying to look up Eric Idle as the moon.
Oh, you'll see it. You'll see it in this for sure. We'll have it. So, Jeff, I'm excited to take you on this attraction. This is it's been around for a long time. I think maybe you could use a little bit more work, but I am excited to take you on to Journey into Imagination with Figment. Are you ready, Jeff?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. Jeff! Hey, Jeff!
Hey, man.
How you feeling, dude?
It's been better.
How's your mouth?
It's okay.
Yeah? Got some holes in it?
There's been a passage of time since we last spoke, I assume.
Right.
So I'm probably fine.
Okay, well, that's good. Hey, Jeff, we're at Epcot today.
Yay.
Yay! We're going to go back to the Imagination area.
I love it.
Remember that's where
our return to Epcot.
Return to Epcot. That's where we saw the 3D thing. You're right.
Good. I'm good.
You holding your jaw?
Yeah, just hugging it.
All right, well, Jeff, instead of going to Honey, I Shrunk the Kids isn't there anymore, but instead of that, we're going to Journey to Imagination with Figment.
Yay! Let's do it.
All right, so Jeff, we're going to get in line, and hey, Jeff, while we're in line, they have a bunch of cool props and stuff from look, it's Dr. Wayne Zielinski.
Oh, from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids?
Yeah, and Dr. Brainerd, who's Robin Williams from the Flubber movie.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like a lot of cool stuff, and there's like a bunch of doors and things, and Dr. Nigel's office. But hey, okay, Jeff, we're in a car now, and we're ready. We're gonna go on the ride. You ready?
Uh-huh.
All right, here we go, Jeff. All right, so we're on the thing. So we start off, and it's Dr. Nigel's talking to us about
the ear.
Yeah, he's talking about we're going to the Sense Lab, and he's going to tell us all the different things, and you can hear him. He's like, all right, we're going to go on this tour of all the sense and all the different things, and Dr. Nigel's there, and he's like, hey, okay, I'm going to tell you all about the senses. But then look, Figment shows up, Jeff. Oh, Figment's there, yay, Figment, and he's like, and Dr. Nigel's like Figment, we're trying to do all these things, but Figment's like, well, no, let's have fun with it. We can't just do a normal thing.
He's a fun little dragon.
He's a fun little flying dragon thing, Jeff. And so here we go. We're starting off in the Sound Lab. Look, it's Figment. He's a little guy. He's got a little sweater on.
Do you think Figment is full grown? Because the dragons in Game of Thrones are much larger.
That is true. I think he's full grown. So, okay, we're starting off in the Sound Lab, Jeff.
Okay.
And now everything's gone dark, and you can hear all the different things like blowing by. It's like, whoa, and there's a train. Whoa, train noise. I'm assuming hopefully Dennis will add that stuff in. But there's a whole bunch of noises, and it's like, whoa, when you use your imagination, anything can come true. Because it wasn't actually a train, Jeff. We just heard a train.
There's a train trick.
All right, Jeff. So now we can see this computer room. Oh, look, Jeff. Inside it says no sneakers allowed. Get it? It's that movie.
Yeah. I got
it. Kurt Russell, and there was a jacket hanging up there too. All right, Jeff. We're gonna move on to the Vision Lab. Okay, the Vision Lab. Here it is. We see it's this little thing here, and Figment's like, oh yeah, use your vision. And then look, he sings, but he breaks the thing, and he spells out his name.
That's cute.
No, look at him singing along, and it's like one little spark. This is something. Figment. I think, and you're supposed to sing along. You're
doing great. One spark of light.
One spark of
light. Catch your light, your fancy.
Your mind sees more than what your eyes see. And then Jeff, look, the sign is hard to read because it has the wrong words for the thing. But look, Jeff, look, it's the butterfly. Look at it. Watch it, Jeff. Watch the butterfly. Oh, it's disappeared right in front of your eyes.
Oh, that's very cool. That's very cool.
That's so cool, right?
They call that the butterfly effect.
They do. Okay, Jeff, we're in the Smell Lab now.
Okay.
Someone get Ashton on the phone. All right, we're in the Smell Lab, but look, Figment's turned it into a slot machine. Oh, and he sprayed us with skunk smell. Oh,
that was gross.
Gross, Jeff. Oh, okay. Now we're moving on. We're gonna keep going through here. Okay, so now Nigel's like, no, we can't go to the taste lab. That'd be gross. Who knows what Figment do? And Figment's like, cool, I'll do it myself then. He's like, I'll take over the tour. And now he says, we're gonna turn your imagination upside down, Jeff. We're going to Figment's house. And look, everything's on the ceiling, Jeff.
Oh, that's adorable.
Everything's upside down. How does that even work? I don't know. There's a toilet and there's a sink. Watch out for the coffee pot. That's dangerous, probably. I don't know. Okay, Jeff. Well, we made it through, and Dr. Nigel's like, well, I guess with imagination anything can come true, and so he's very excited. And then Figment's like, all right, well, maybe I don't know what he says exactly, but then he blows up. It's like, oh my gosh, and everyone's like shocked because it's bright, and now there's Figments everywhere. Yay! There's a rainbow.
He exploded into multiple Figments.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of them now. And it's all singing and happy and dancing, and there's a big rainbow. Look at a little Figment working on stuff. And oh, look at the stars. And look at the creepy Eric Idle.
That is That's like very David Lynch. Yeah.
So it's
Oh boy.
it's very, very spooky.
Yeah.
It's the moon, Dr. Nigel chanting, look at all the crazy stars. That's really neat. And so Jeff, it's in the song talking like that little spark of imagination. Oh, whoa! What was that? Did you see all the stars went away and now it's the exit now?
Oh, that's that.
Whoa!
That dude loves his job.
All right. Well, Jeff, we made it through the thing. Are you full of imagination and love and fancy?
I'm filled to the brim with imagination.
Well, there's a whole lot of imagination to be had. Just,
Yeah.
You can live your whole life with imagination. It makes things so much nicer and more exciting. Is the moral of the story.
Absolutely.
I think. So that's it. If you haven't seen the creepy Dr. Nigel Channing moon face, it's terrifying.
And if you have, you'll set about trying to figure out how to unsee it.
Well, at some point, we're going to have to go out to Epcot and actually ride this thing together.
Absolutely.
So it'll be a lot
Absolutely.
of fun. But so that's it for as far as like the history of it. I have some fun facts. There are quite
Okay.
a few fun facts, as a matter of fact, here. So originally, Figment was going to be green. That was the idea behind Figment. They were going to make them green, but Kodak had an issue with that back in the early 80s. Can you think of any reason why Kodak would have an issue with Figment being green?
Kodak, the company?
Yes.
Is it related to...
Kodak was the sponsor of the Imagination Pavilion.
I mean, is this related to photography in some way?
Kind of, yes.
No, I don't know.
So Kodak, they were sort of like the rainbow was kind of their, or like the orange and black was sort of their color scheme.
Yes.
Green was Fujifilm's
Oh,
color of
you're
choice.
right. You're right. It was.
So Fujifilm
Still is, I
was
believe.
Kodak's biggest competitor in that market, and they were like, we can't have it be green because that's Fujifilm. So they're like, make it purple. And so that's why Figment became purple.
There you go.
There you go. A large portion of the original track is actually under the new queue area of the ride. So basically, they like halved the length of the original ride. And so as you're walking to get on the attraction, the floor you're on is actually part of where the old ride used to be.
That's very cool.
And so that was actually from one of our Discord users. So thanks to Jimmy King 211 on our Discord group. That was kind of cool. Thank you for that. As you go in, you see other inventors from the Disney universe, including Wayne Zielinski, Professor Brainerd, who's the flubber guy, and you also see a door for Dean Finder, which is Dream Finder. So I don't know if he's a dean and his name is like, is he Dean Dreamfinder, or is it supposed to be like Dean Finder or what? But
I think that's probably just a coincidence and you're reading into it. Yeah.
Here's one fun fact for you that you will probably appreciate. I don't know how many other people out there might, but the original voice of Figment, who has been changed for the new version of the attraction, the original voice of Figment back in the 80s was done by Billy Barty.
Really?
Yeah. And so he was the original voice of Figment.
Wow.
Which, if you don't know Billy Barty, he was an actor. He was he fought for a lot of rights for little people. Mm-hmm. He was in the movie Willow. He's in UHF. He plays Niles McIntosh or
Two
what?
fantastic
Noodles.
films, by the way.
Noodles McIntosh. He was also in Life Stinks, and he was in Masters of the Universe. But yeah, so he was the original voice of
Masters of the Universe, the movie or the cartoon?
the movie, the Dolph Lundgren movie.
Yeah, that was a great movie.
Great movie.
You know, in his world, they don't say goodbye. They say, safe journey.
Safe journey.
Safe journey.
Oh, was it Man in Arms? I think he
Yeah.
said that. So the new Figment though is voiced by Dave Goelz, Goelz. He has worked. So he's actually worked with Muppets for a while. Like he worked with the Henson Muppets. So Dave Goelz, fun fact, does the voice of Gonzo, and was actually like the creator of Gonzo.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So this guy, he's got some chops behind him.
Gonzo is one of the best Muppets.
He's
top
fantastic.
5.
And not only that, so appropriately, because there's a lot of doctors in here, he also does the voice of Dr. Dr. Bunsen Honeydew. Excuse me.
Bunsen Honeydew.
Bunsen Honeydew. So yeah, so he's technically also a doctor as well. So that works out. One Little Spark, which is the song that carries through the entire attraction that you can't get out of your head, that earworm, of course, was written by the Sherman Brothers, who wrote pretty much every single Disney earworm ever.
Yeah, of course.
So so they wrote the original one back for the original ride, and they've carried it over. They've reworked some of the lyrics, obviously. I mean, I don't think they did, but the lyrics have been reworked a little bit for the new version of the attraction. But there you go. There's a reference to the computer who wore tennis shoes in the little server room as you go by.
Absolutely.
There's a sign that says no tennis shoes allowed, and also there's a jacket from the college from the movie.
That's very cute.
Classic 80s or classic Disney movie. I think that was the 80s, maybe even 70s.
Probably.
Kurt Russell in it. There is also so not only that, Figment has blown up lately. Do you know why Figment has been in the news lately, Jeff?
Dragon rights?
No, that was Game of Thrones. That was huge.
No, I guess I don't know.
So recently, the new big thing for Disney is they have popcorn buckets. That's the big thing. You go get collectors popcorn buckets. They had Millennium Falcon popcorn buckets when they opened up the whole new Black Spire Outpost area of Star Wars. They had the 50th anniversary ear balloon popcorn buckets. Popcorn buckets are the big thing at Disney right now. And they released a Figment popcorn bucket that the day they came out, there was a almost 7-hour line to get a Figment popcorn bucket.
Wow.
Yes, they're like $25, and they were selling on eBay. I think the one that sold for the highest was like $700 or something along those lines. But of course, as soon as people realized that, they started putting all of them on eBay.
Drove the price down.
Drove the price way down. I think you can get them for like $50 now.
And they come with popcorn or not?
They came with a bag of popcorn.
Okay.
So it wasn't just like dumped in. They actually came with like a little bag of popcorn you could put in there if you want.
Nice.
They have since brought out more popcorn buckets, or they have now more Figment popcorn buckets because they realize, people want to buy these things, and Disney hates eBay. Disney hates eBay scalpers. So they're now releasing more, but instead of having a big line, you do like a mobile order thing where you buy it through your phone. So no, you don't have to wait in line for 6 hours. They had them recently, I think last week they brought them back, and so I don't know if they immediately sold out again or whatnot, but that's pretty wild. But that was a huge news story. People waiting in line for 6 hours for a bucket of popcorn, Jeff. And then you see like photos of families with like 30 of them. And
Good
it's like,
Lord.
All right, I get it. So Kodak, as I mentioned before throughout this thing, they were a longtime sponsor of the Imagination Pavilion for almost 30 years, ended their sponsorship in August of 2010. So now I think it's the company that does the the photo pass type stuff. They are now the sponsor of that pavilion. So yeah, and also not only that, at the what if portion, or the what if pavilion at the end of the ride, where like there was a bunch of cool games and stuff for kids. There was, if you've seen any old photo promos of Epcot from like the 80s, there was this rainbow tunnel. It was like a neon rainbow tunnel. Very, very iconic imagery. That was part of the Imagination exit. It was like part of that little area. It got really, really popular because Michael Jackson actually did a photo shoot inside of that neon tunnel. Like Michael Jackson loved Disney. He ended up building, he ended up doing his own theme park.
Yeah.
And so Michael Jackson was all about this. And there's lots of photos of him in like this rainbow neon tunnel. And and I remember seeing that tunnel when I was a kid, but now that tunnel has been completely destroyed and is gone, which is sad. Now
That's too bad.
That was in the upstairs area, part of the What If Labs, and now it's a Disney Vacation Club like lounge. And the area where all that stuff was walled off, but people have snuck back there, and it's gone now, which is very, very sad. So, but that's it. That's pretty much all of the fun facts I have. There's a ton of information about this attraction. If you want to learn more about Journey to Imagination, I don't know if Defunctland wrote something or did a video on it, but there's a lot. Like I think Expedition Theme Park made a video on it. There's a lot of really, really cool videos out there you should check out.
Absolutely, those facts were indeed fun, and I bet if you search for more, they'll be just as fun.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Jeff, this is the portion of the ride where we talk about, or we look over questions people have asked us over at roosterteeth.com. These questions are from the Shrek 4D episode we did a while ago.
Really quickly, before you
Go
dive
ahead.
into that, Defunctland has a 22-minute video on the history of Journey into Imagination.
Well,
that you
it's
should
short
check
for
out.
them.
There you go. So go check out Kevin's video from our buddy Kevin from Defunctland, who was trending on Twitter yesterday, by the way.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Yeah, when this the story living thing came out, people were like, "Oh, Defunctland's going to be all over this," and Kevin's like, "Oh God, I don't know what to do." he actually just got a laser. Like he wanted to figure out how to make laser shows, so he's been playing with a laser. It's like, all right, man, good for you. That's awesome.
There you go.
So that dude is so smart. Check out all his stuff. Defunctland is awesome. Watch our video where we talked with Kevin from Defunctland. It was really great. It was a couple weeks after his line video popped out, which he's got almost 8 million views on that video.
That's crazy.
Which is awesome. So here we go from the Shrek 4D episode. This is from Siren Omelia. So we recorded this one at home. This was one of like the ones we couldn't get out for. Said came for Jack and Jeff, stayed for the cat. So I think this is where I think Cooper was walking across in front of the camera. Water Bubbles 995 says the donkey meet and greet in Hollywood location is still there next to the entrance to the Kung Fu Panda show. It's still one of the most popular meet and greet areas based on Every Time I Went. Yeah, so that's good to hear that donkey is still out there as well. The performers that do those improv basically meet and greets as the characters are amazing. There's Turtle Talk with Crush over at Epcot. There's Donkey as well. There's some the laugh floor at Magic Kingdom, the Monsters Inc. laugh floor. It's awesome. You should check those out. Ace OXAT says, what has been your favorite interaction with a character within a park, like a donkey meet and greet or stormtroopers marching through? For Jeff, I'll broaden the question to who would you like to see since you've had fewer opportunities. So have you had any experiences with any characters, or is there anyone you would like to see in a theme park in character? Can you think like maybe like Merida from Brave or
Any theme park?
Yeah. Like, I mean, it's like, is there any fictional character or even historical character that you would like to encounter in a theme park and be like, well, that was really neat?
I mean, when I was a kid, it would have been Goofy.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, probably. As an adult,
you're an adult now, so
I like Winnie the Pooh a lot.
really.
I wouldn't mind meeting the Winnie the Pooh.
Aw, that's
Yeah.
cute. I didn't know that.
I would like to hug Winnie the Pooh.
You want to give Winnie the Pooh a big
I
hug?
would like that, yes.
I think Crystal Palace, which is a restaurant at Disney, I think they have all of the Winnie the Pooh characters. That's where they hang out.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be cool.
So we'll go do breakfast over there. And
Yeah,
go,
no, and
go see Tigger and Piglet. And,
I would love to meet Eeyore or Piglet or Tigger as well.
Okay.
But Winnie, yeah.
All right.
How about you?
For me, so one of my favorite things was when I was working at Great Movie Ride, there was a break room for the characters just above our attraction, so we would get them out all the time. And there was a King Louie from Jungle Book who that King Louie was super into it. They would get going because like right when they'd come out after, they come out of the break room, they're all in character, and like there was a big group of them. So you'd see, I want to say like Tigger was out there. There was a King Louie. I forget, there was like 2 or 3 other characters, kind of random characters like Aladdin. I know like Aladdin, Jasmine, and Genie showed up too. But this King Louie, he would run out and like charge on all fours, whereas like his knuckles were hitting the ground. And every now and then he would roll. He would like jump and roll.
Oh, wow.
Which was awesome. It was like the coolest thing ever. And I was like, oh my gosh, because King Louie's not a small dude. And so seeing him move around like that was a lot of fun. Also, I've talked about it before in the past, but the first time I went to Black Spire Outpost in Disneyland in California, there was a Chewbacca walking around because it's kind of cool. The characters out in California, they don't really interact. Like they don't stop to like, I'm going to take photos now. Like they kind of just sort of do
their thing.
Yeah.
I've experienced that as well.
And you can kind of like catch them. Like if Chewbacca's walking, like catch a selfie with them, but he's not going to stop.
Yeah.
And so this Chewbacca was walking around. They have handlers too, but at one point he was walking and there was a guy had a shirt on that said like the Sith was right or something like that. And Chewbacca stopped and just stared at this guy and just mad dogged him for like 2 minutes. Like this guy just stopped and was just watching him the whole time.
That's funny.
Just staring at him. It was hilarious. So that'd probably be mine. So, okay, but now this is the portion of the show where I ask a question of the audience, and then you guys respond on the comments over at roosterteeth.com, and then I randomly select someone from the comments to give a theme park map autographed by Jeff and I. So here we go. The question I asked during the Shrek 4D episode is, what is your favorite souvenir that you've got in an amusement park? Which we've got quite a few. So Rocky AF says, my favorite souvenir that I got at an amusement park is a Joker t-shirt and a can from Six Flags Great Adventure in New Jersey. I think I threw this one for New Jersey for you. However, I cannot wait to go to Disney World for the first time and build a lightsaber from Savi's workshop.
Yeah, that'd be very cool.
A lot of people talking about that. Yeah. That's one of the things that I want to do. I thought like, I don't think I'll ever want to do that. And then I watched a video of it, and now I'm like, oh, that looks really, really cool.
It does look cool.
If you're ever thinking about doing it, don't watch a video, because there is like stuff that happens that I spoiled it for myself, which is unfortunate. Yeah. The Rybar says, my favorite souvenir has to be the time turner I got in Harry Potter World back in 2009. Is the most authentic one sold, as it were, just like in the film. Wait, does that mean it actually goes back in time? I don't. I bought it after riding Hogwarts 4D ride months before Jack says that it was open. So I guess they must have bought it right when it was still in soft open. Kristen in May says, my favorite souvenir is from the resort and not the parks itself. I honestly love Universal hotel room keys. I have made a shadow boxes of our room keys, and our buttons anniversary and my birthday is my favorite thing, but it makes me smile when I look at it on our wall. That's kind of cool. Yeah, they always have like the images on the hotel room keys, so that's kind of cool.
That is very cool.
I appreciate that, and it's also free. Well, comes the
comes with the hotel room.
Yeah, so not exactly free. Toz 5824 says, my family still have our pictures from our Leave a Legacy shoot at Epcot. They are pretty neat because our photos are laser etched onto slabs. It's also pretty crazy to look back at those photos because I was so young, yet I remember taking our pictures so vividly. Being able to say that I'm a permanent part of Epcot is the best. So There was a thing called Leave a Legacy, where in front of the in front of the Phantasm Ball out in front, they had these giant marble like pillar things, and on it were etched like metal that they were like photos that had been etched with people's faces on them, and so you could pay for it back in like the early 90s, where you pay like $50 or something, and you take a photo, and it was like a little like postage size photo that they would put on these giant columns.
That's cool.
And they lived there for like 20 years.
Yeah.
Now they have since all those photos, if you're looking to see them, they still exist. Just outside of the security area,
they put them in a giant photo album.
Kind of. They actually have a giant wall that all of the photos, they basically reprinted them on this giant wall. They're not metal anymore. It's just actually like pictures that have been printed, but you can go see those still. They're still outside. So if you're walking away from the park, it's on your right side.
Oh, that's cool.
Go take a look at it.
Like the last thing you see.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So it's like as you exit towards the, I think, Discovery parking lot, you can see those. So check that out. The TNT Raider says, my favorite souvenir I've gotten from a theme park would have to be the flakes of gold I panned at Knott's Berry Farm. I'm not talking about fool's gold or anything like that. This is real gold. During a 4th grade school trip to Knott's Berry Farm, they let us pan for real gold. It was such a memorable experience, and I'll treasure it forever.
Absolutely.
I guess they have little gold flakes.
He'll treasure his treasure forever.
Nerdy Girl 014 says, my favorite souvenir is a wooden replica of the Eiffel Tower at Kingsland. It came with an authentic paint chip from the tower for the 50th anniversary of the park. Well worth the money for a piece of history for my favorite park. Do you think someone went, I wonder if it's a flake of paint from the one inside the park as opposed to the real one? Because I can't imagine anyone going to the one in Paris and like chipping off paint.
Yeah,
from
I don't.
Just collecting it in like a bag and getting out of there. So, and then our winner here that I randomly picked is Charlie and Bex Q. I have a very sentimental souvenir from Disneyland. I have a box full of confetti from the day I opened the park with my family. We got to ride the train with a bunch of face characters and got to do the opening ceremony that day. They also gave us a framed photo with Mickey from that day where me and my then baby brother are clearly holding said confetti and streamers in our hands. It's one of my greatest memories. That's super sweet.
That's really sweet.
Yeah, they always pick one family to open the park with if you get there early. So that's really cool. So congratulations, Charlie and Bex Q.
I didn't know that. That's really neat.
We'll reach out to you. And and also, I forgot to mention too, we've been mailed some stuff. So people have actually mailed us some things. If you want to mail us, physically mail us, you can mail it Annual Pass, care of Rooster Teeth, 1901 East 51st Street, Austin, Texas, 78723. I also have this is the Magic Kingdom thing. We're eventually going to build this on a YouTube stream.
Let's do that sooner than later.
Yes. So Jessica and Jennifer, the twins, sent this to me. But I've got a letter here. Hello, Jack and Jeff. Look at that handwriting.
It's very good handwriting.
Hope you both are doing well. I recently went to Walt Disney World for my 30th birthday, and along with the 50th anniversary stuff and Food and Wine Festival for the first time, I went to the new Mickey's Disney's Very Merriest After Hours party. I somehow was of sound enough mind at 2 a.m. after a full day to grab a second map for Jack to add to his collection. I hope you both have a wonderful rest of the year, and thank you for this podcast. As a former ride operator at my local park, I love hearing of other adults who love theme parks. Also, thanks for getting me through the 2-hour Rise of the Resistance line. Enjoy the map, and thanks again, Lauren Michaud. So thank you very much. And she sent the little department. It's the one themed around like the like all the Christmas stuff. They do like special edition stuff.
Thank you, Lauren.
Really cool. And here's a fun fact: if you've seen the merch photos we did for the new stuff, I used this as a prop in the merch photo. So that's from Lauren.
They have some pretty good looking food here. Yeah, ginger apple funnel cake,
dude.
From Sleepy Hollow.
They actually had so for the Very Merriest holiday thing, they had all of the snacks were free. So they literally had like ice cream sandwiches and sodas and everything. You just go and they just hand it to you. It was awesome. So I did that with my family back in December. I also received a wedding invite. Gary Bartholomew and Jasmine Gravitz. So I don't know if in October we're doing anything, but Jeff, you want to go to a wedding with me?
Yeah, where is it?
It's in Aurora, Nebraska.
Okay.
You want to go to Nebraska with me?
Yeah.
I don't know if there's any theme parks in Nebraska, but we can do that. We'll figure that out.
I don't think you knew what you were getting into when you invited us to your wedding, Gary and Jasmine.
And then also one last thing here I got in the mail. This is, hey, Jack and Jeff, thanks for the amazing Annual Pass podcast. My family and I have been going to Disneyland for years, and somehow we learn something new every time we listen to the show. Aw. Also, last May, I wore the Annual Pass shirt to Disneyland, and the workers on half the rides kept commenting on how they love the show.
Oh.
That's awesome. Thank you very much. Recently for Christmas, we decided to get the kids and us Magic Keys to the Parks, which is the Disneyland version of the theme of the Annual Pass.
Yeah.
Each pass came with the enclosed artistic maps, and I figured Jack could use one of these first edition Magic Key maps in his collection. which is awesome. I've also enclosed the second map and a return envelope in the hopes that you both will sign it. But if you want to keep both copies, you're totally welcome to.
No, we'll return it for sure.
Actually, we'll sign one of these and send it back to you. We love the show and look forward to it every week. I know you're coming out to Southern California to do Achievement Hunter live soon. I had tickets to the original show, but unfortunately, I won't be able to make it to the new dates. That said, while you're in town, are you planning to do an annual pass meetup in or near Disneyland? Jeff, we look forward to seeing you at Level Up in Vegas. You're going to a convention in Vegas, I'm assuming?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think next weekend.
Thanks again, guys. Mike, which is Mr. Clever Dad on Rooster Teeth. So thank you very much for that. We don't know. I've been trying to convince the team after we do our Los Angeles version of Achievement Hunter Live to go down to Disneyland. We'll see if we can make it happen. I'll probably stay for a couple days. You're going to be there too. Maybe we just go down.
I think so.
We'll bounce down, go to Disneyland.
Yeah.
And we can go to Fantasyland and you have your remembrance.
I can go cry.
It'll be a blast. So, but yeah, thank you very much for this. We will sign this guy and mail it back to you. He did it right. He put postage on the thing with an envelope. Thank you very much, Mike.
Thank you.
So we'll get this back to you. So, but that's gonna do it today. It's been a lot of fun. That was a good episode.
It was fun. I had a good time.
Yeah, and so Jeff, we got to get our Figment popcorn buckets.
Looking forward to it.
Did you learn anything today?
Dude, don't even get me started. I learned that there is no correlation between Barney and Figment.
Yeah.
I learned that Eric Idle, while a tremendous actor, does not play a moon or a planet in a way that I find entertaining. If anything, it was
it's horrifying.
Horrifying. Yeah. Was that shades of Eraserhead to me.
Little David Lynch up
yeah, it's like when the lady's
imagination.
singing "In Heaven." He's got the big cheeks. It's very, very creepy. Very moon-like. And I learned that popcorn buckets are the wave of the future for collectibles. Oh, and I learned that if you want to live in the desert, do it the Disney way.
Do it the Disney way. So that's going to do it for us today. Thank you so much, everyone who listens and watches the show. Don't forget to subscribe over at youtube.com/annualpass. Grab yourself some new merchandise. Grab the pin set. We are going to be dropping a lot of pins over this year, and that's the reason we have the starter kits. So, yeah, you want to grab those. They're really, really awesome. Store.roosterteeth.com. We got new shirts. We have our Epcot shirt, which is awesome. I love that shirt so much. And then don't forget to follow us on annual_pass on Twitter and on Instagram. Join our Discord as well. I'm in there all the time just hanging out and talking to people. It's been a lot of fun.
And definitely join our YouTube channel because we will be doing a lot of stuff like this Disney puzzle and maybe some theme park video games.
Well, this is a Lego set, but
sorry, I was thinking puzzles because I want to do puzzles as well. But they'll do Legos, puzzles, all the fun things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tactile entertainment.
Absolutely. It's going to be a lot of fun. We promise we got more stuff coming to that YouTube channel. We just got to find some editors. So we love you guys. Take care of yourselves. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.